Inconsistent Bible reading. We're on Matthew 5. I'm going to start now and just read with small commentary. I'll try to settle down. Matthew 5. Now, when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them. This is the Sermon on the Mount. Very famous, not easy to comprehend. He said, "Blessed are the poor." I'm going to say blessed instead of blessed. We'll do the traditional reading pronunciation. "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." The poor in spirit gain the kingdom of heaven. What does it mean? Treasured in your heart. I don't know. Just think about it. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. So if you want comfort, mourn. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. That doesn't seem right at all. The conquerors take the earth and give it to their children, the 1%, the ones who win. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. We hunger and thirst for food. Righteousness. Are you hungry for righteousness? Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. It's not easy to understand. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Give as you want to receive. Give mercy, receive mercy. Judgment, judges are judged. But we're all judges. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart. Blessed, for they will see God, the pure in heart. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. And we want to be warriors. We want to be peacemakers. These are hard sayings. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness. Yeah, go get persecuted. Do the right thing so that people will scream at you. If people are screaming at you, where does that put you in the world? There's a lot of screaming in the world right now. What does that say? What is it? Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me, Jesus. Would Jesus lead to insulting? I don't know. Go preach Jesus in Walmart. See if people, I don't know, find out. Why don't you find out? Rejoice and be glad. Because people are insulting and persecuting and saying evil against you. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. Here, insult, persecution, evil words spoken against you. Your reward is not in this world. This world will be suffering, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? I used to tell that to students. That to me is so interesting. What do you do with salt that's not salty? You have to salt it. It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven, not you. They aren't going to glorify you. Good deeds don't get you glory. Glorify your Father in heaven. That's something to consider. Will you be praised? Jesus said, you're not going to be praised in my name. Okay? Do not think I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. Jesus fulfills the law. He's the blemish-free lamb. None other. There is none perfect. Nobody's perfect, except it appears like Jesus has something different going on. He fulfills the law and the prophets. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, nor the least stroke of a pen, a jot or a tittle, will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. So every little detail, you're under it until everything is accomplished. When is it all accomplished? Well, Jesus says it is accomplished when he dies on the cross. Therefore, anyone who sets aside one of these commands and teaches others accordingly will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. That's a good place to be called least in the kingdom. But whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven. So your righteousness needs to be bigger, better, bolder than the Pharisees and teachers of the law. Their righteousness was questioned oftentimes, so that might be a low hurdle. It might be a very small hurdle to clear. There's great mystery and profundity in these words. It's not something that, obviously, Jesus. Obviously, I'm doing it, Jesus. Yeah, whatever. You've heard that it was said to the people long ago, you shall not murder. And anyone who murders will be subject to judgment. But I tell you that anyone who is angry with a brother or sister, I was angry with my brother just the other day, will be subject to judgment. And who is your brother? Who is your sister? Jesus talks about that. And he isn't talking about family. All this has layers and layers to treasure in your heart and ruminate on your whole life. Fully subject to judgment. If you're angry with a brother or sister, again, anyone who says to a brother or sister, Raka, I've never said that, but I will say that. I'll try and say that to someone, is answerable to the court. Raka, you're going to jail, buddy. You're going to fine at least. Raka. Anyone who says, you fool, will be in danger of the fire of hell. I know one who, It's interesting. This is interesting, hard words. Therefore, if you are offering your gift at the altar and remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled with them. Then come and offer your gift. So he's talking to Jews specifically. They're offering gifts at the temple. How does that translate into something that we would do? Think about it. Treasure it. Settle matters quickly with your adversary who is taking you to court. Do it while you are still together on the way. Or your adversary may hand you over to the judge, and the judge may hand you over to the officer, and you may be thrown into prison. Truly, I tell you, you will not get out until you have paid the last penny. Jesus tells a parable about a man he forgives who is then not forgiving to somebody who owes him. A man who is forgiven. I don't know if I said that right. You have heard it said, that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. So you've heard, don't murder. Now you've heard, do not commit adultery. But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. This is a small, as near as I can tell, a glance. I don't know if it's a long stare. I don't know if it's creepy. I don't know what it is. Treasure it. Think about it. And think about it, how it applies to me and you, not to how it applies to others. This isn't, now you know how to judge others. It's not exactly what Jesus is getting at. You've already committed adultery by looking lustfully. If your right eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. Dang. You just said a glance causes me to stumble. It is better for you to lose one part of your body, an eye, than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go to hell. A couple more little sections. It has been said, anyone who divorces his wife must give her a certificate of divorce. But I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for sexual immorality, who is it talking to, Tom? Makes her the victim of adultery. And anyone who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. So Jesus is raising the bar to in some places he lowers it. Can you be more righteous than the most righteous people you know? Yes, you can. Can you be less righteous than you think? Always. Always you can be less righteous. It's like limbo, and Jesus puts the bar up. Yeah, I don't know if this analogy is working. The bar of immorality. You go under that limbo bar so easy. This is for the prize of immorality. I made it. I made it. Anyone who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Again, you've heard it said that to the people long ago, do not break your oath, but fulfill to the Lord the vows you have made. But I tell you, do not swear an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne, or by the earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even one hair white or black. Yeah, I'd like to make all my hair a different color. All you need is to say is simply yes or no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one. So that means I got a lot of evil one influencing me. Anytime I say, I believe I will do that. Anytime I make a vow, I will do that today. You have vowed before the earth, before the grass. I'll cut the grass. It's complicated. You have heard it said, eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. We live by that rule. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. We do not live by that rule. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. We do not live by that rule. And if anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, hand over your coat as well. We do not live by that rule. If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, then go with them 2 miles. Now they're forcing, not asking, forcing. Give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. Last little section, another tough one. You have heard it that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. He causes the sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. If you love those who love you, what reward will you get? Are not even the tax collectors doing that, the least loved people? And if you greet only your own people, what are you doing more than others? Do not even pagans do that? You know, Jews, those pagans. Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect. All of the perfection is hard to achieve unless you think you want persecution, evil spoken against you. If you want to be hated, that's super achievable. There you go. Be perfect. Take persecution. Matthew 5, I will talk to you guys again. Thanks for watching. So long.